Hello, guys. It's Dr. Patrick Price, the body detective. This story is very short, but once again, many of you out there may be suffering from foot pain. In the chiropractic world, we adjust the spine, but also you can manipulate other joints in the body or peripheral areas, your shoulders, elbows, hands, fingers. These are also part of things that can be shifted and moved to get out of pain. Um, a lot of people these days have foot pain. I've seen several foot patients here lately. And this one particular case I want to mention to you, he came in and he'd seen probably 4 or 5 other practitioners and not just chiropractors, other doctors, specialists in the foot area. And what had happened is everyone was focusing on the foot. And I've known from experience of doing this for a long time that just because something hurts here or here doesn't mean that that's the area where the problem is. That just means that's a result of what's going on. So yes, the bones in the feet, there's 32 bones in the feet. And I love working on feet because one of the first skills I ever developed is a shiatsu, is to use finger pressure. This is an old Japanese art I learned in the early 80s as a martial artist. An old master come in and taught us to use shiatsu, pressure point type, working with meridians. And so when you're looking at the feet with all these bones in the feet, how we walk, how we stand, one thing today is we're always in these rubber shoes. Well, first of all, if you look at these little meters that measure the EMFs and measure different energies of the body, you'll see that when you wear rubber shoes, you're completely disconnected from the earth. There's no connection. When you get your feet out of these shoes and you put your toes and feet in actually grass and dirt, put it back to the land, you'll see that you make a connection back to the earth. Now, some of you may not look at this as very important, but this is extremely important as a human being. You are an electromagnetic energy yourself, connected to all things. And so your kidney meridians are right on the bottom of your feet. And so that is like electrical input area. That is a yin meridian. So when you step on the earth, energy from the earth enters into this meridian. And so you're connected to the earth. So those of you having foot pain, I'm telling you, first of all, self-care, then I'm going to discuss a little more, is get outside and put your feet in the sand, especially in the grass, living things, and just sit in a chair and put your feet in the grass for a while, and you will start feeling different. Some people will do gardening. They put their hands into the dirt, makes a connection back to the earth. Gaia, the earth, is a living being. The earth is alive, guys. It's not just this giant rock we're rolling around on. Another thing you can do, very successful, I learned from a reflexology guy years ago, get you a foot pan, put very hot water as much as you can stand it, put 1 cup of Epsom salt, and get you a bag of marbles. Put those marbles in the bottom of that pan and just roll your feet around on all those little balls while they're sitting there in that Epsom salt water. This is like getting your own reflexology done to you at home. And people go, have you lost your marbles? You said, no, my marbles are right there in the pan. That's my joke. So the idea is a bag of marbles, easy to get. Epsom salt's very cheap. And water, well, you know the story there. You can do this every night to soak your feet and rub these marbles all over those little, because your feet, not just the meridian, but have all these little reflex points also to all your organs and glands. And if you reach down the bottom of your feet, you'll find them very tender places. Well, in this particular case, after I adjusted his feet and looked at the feet, I basically, from looking at a lot of feet, I looked down and realized it's not his feet at all. I said, let's take an x-ray of your lumbar spine. And we got back his x-rays. His L5, the very last lumbar, was basically way out of position. The end of that bone was just pushing right into the peripheral nerves in his spine. But he came in with no back pain. So this is an old injury, an old trauma. And most of us have old traumas we forget about. You're falling off a horse, sitting really hard on the floor. And so this bone was out of place. Your spinal cord ends about L1, L2 in your spine, but you have these peripheral nerves like shoelaces that go down there. And so when a bone is out of place, remember your bones have 3 positions of movement. They'll flex, extend, loudly rotate, and rotate back and forth. And so if you're missing positions at each bone, its own individual joint, this can be an issue. And this can cause problems in other areas. So if your L5 is out of place, its brother is your first bone, which is C1, your neck. So that means he also had a neck issue. So the x-ray showed it all. I showed it to him, and he said, oh, yeah, I had an injury years ago. Well, when I began working on his spine, he began to have back pain. He goes, "Wow, what are you doing to me, doctor? I'm getting worse. Now my back's hurting." I said, "That's part of the process." When you have an old injury, guys, one thing you got to know, and many of you may not know this, is you must wake up the old injury. And when you start working on it, guess what happens? Usually it comes back the same as when you had it. Maybe not quite as intense, but it does come back. And I've experienced this myself with people working on me. And I understood it. So I know it's temporary. So when he come in for 3 visits, he was in intense pain with his back. He goes, "Golly, what has happened to me?" I go, "It will pass." It just has to wake up so we can get the bone moving again, get the rest of the spine moving, and your feet are going to be better. Well, guess what? His 5th visit, he comes in. Guess what he says? "Doctor, I have no more foot pain, and my back pain is almost gone." So the next visit, no more pain. Now, usually I tell people before getting out of pain, usually you're going to have function first. I want the body to function better. Pain going away will follow second. It doesn't always go away right away, guys. Your body has to heal itself. It's like a computer. When you change settings in the computer, it has to reconfigure itself, how it's going to walk, how it's going to stand, how it's going to sit, how it's going to sleep. So remember, when you're having some foot pain today, I give you some self-remedies to do at home. Ground yourself, very important to do. Put your feet in the dirt, put your feet in the grass. Some people have never put their a lady in a class for Qigong one time had never put her feet in the earth. She thought it was just so dirty, she didn't want to put her feet. And in the Qigong class, we actually cleared a place in the dirt. We put her feet in the dirt, in the sand, and she goes, "Ooh, very nice." Okay. The first time as an adult, her feet were in the earth. So make sure that you do this, guys. And if I can be of any help to you guys, please feel free to contact me. And like I said, there's plenty of other people who know these type of tricks. It's not very difficult to do. Guys, enjoy your day. I'm Dr. Patrick Price.